Hi, my name is Vanessa Spencer and I'm the shop manager for Stampington and Company, and welcome to another creative how-to video. Today we have a very special guest artist, Traci Bautista. She's a mixed media artist and has contributed to many Stampington and Company publications. And we are going to be releasing her line of Collage products for Aileen's through Duncan in the shop at Somerset at stampington.com. And Traci is kindly going to be doing a project featuring the Collage. So let's get started.
Okay, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to be making a kind of a journal board that you can turn into a wall hanging, or you can use it as journal covers. And I'm going to be collaging onto the surface. And what it is this is actually part of a piece of cardboard from like a priority mailbox.
Okay.
And I'm going to use that as the base. And I'm going to use a mixture of my hand-painted papers and some of my color lasers from my own artwork.
Okay.
And the fun thing about Collage is that you can use it on all kinds of different surfaces. I'm using it on kind of a paper surface now, but you can use it on glass, on metal, on wood, anything that you like, even on walls. You know, if you wanted to collage something onto a wall.
Wow.
So I'm just going to take a few different pieces. I have some that are cut, and I'm going to do a quick kind of patchwork collage. So I'm taking a little bit of the Collage. This is the matte finish, and
so it's a sealer, like a glue, as well as the finish.
Right.
Okay.
You're right. So I'm using it to collage down the paper right onto the surface. I like to make sure that the air bubbles are out of there, so I press it down with my fingers and then put the Collage on top.
Okay. And it's best to use a foam brush.
Yeah, I either use a foam brush or sometimes I use like an old hotel room key.
Oh, wow.
So that way it gets nice and flat. Yeah. So either one of those work. And so I'm using a variety of papers. So some of them are thicker. When they're a little bit thicker, you would just want to make sure that you really put pressure down so that you don't get any air bubbles. And all of this is going to dry clear. You know, you don't want it to be like really sopping wet with the Collage, but enough to cover it so it's nice and stuck down there.
Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of the work that I do, I like to kind of make this patchwork look. So I'm putting the paper right on top, the edges, and then putting a little bit more.
Just kind of layering it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And so this is that piece was like a little piece of rice paper. One of the things that I am known for is dyed paper towels. So in my book Collage Unleashed, I show how to actually dye the paper towel. So this is a paper towel, and I'm going to take that. Actually, before I put that down, I'm going to put a Xerox copy, a photocopy underneath it first.
And so if you were to use photographs, it's acid free, so it wouldn't hurt your pictures anyway. Okay.
It's acid free. The one other really great thing about it is it doesn't smell.
Oh, good.
So you don't get
certain gels and mediums can have quite a toxic smell, so that's great.
So this is just a photocopy of one of my pieces layered on top of letters, and I like to make some just fun graphic backgrounds.
Good.
And then I'm going to take the paper towel, and this is just one layer of a painted paper towel.
Okay.
So when this dries, you'll see some of that black design through it later.
Yeah.
Very
good.
And just keep layering. And the thing about using any kind of thin paper, you do get a little bit of the wrinkles, which is nice. It gives kind of an added texture.
And what kind of dyes do you use when you do the paper towel?
I usually use acrylic paint.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah, or acrylic ink.
You can already tell that the paper towel looks like it's already almost dried.
Yeah, the paper towel section. Yeah, so like when I work, I'm doing like 10 things at once. So I never put things down while I hold the brush full of paint and full of glue. But it does help though to keep either like a wet napkin or paper towel next to you, so that you can just wipe off your fingers if you need to when you're using the collage, because it does get a little bit sticky.
Right.
So sometimes what I'll do too is I want the composition to kind of flow through here, so I'll take bits and pieces and kind of spread them out,
Right.
you know, throughout, so you get a right.
Yeah.
When I use the sparkle finish, what I like to do also is take the pieces that I'm using first, and I usually use the gloss finish first, and then I use the sparkle on top as the top layer.
Oh, okay.
Because that way, I mean, you really want to save the sparkle so you see the glitter on the top.
Right, right.
So that's just a nice little hint. Almost done covering this. A couple more pieces.
Very good.
Oops.
So when you make these collages, what kind of artwork do you usually end up making besides just the collages and art journals, and what kind of other projects do you usually find that you steer towards? There's so many different things. Like the big ones, like you said, that I do are usually journals, wall hangings. Okay.
You can do the same technique on fabric and create things that are more wearable, like a tote. Not something that you wouldn't wash. I mean, because this is you can wipe this down. It's water resistant when it dries. So if it does get wet, you can just wipe it off. And so a tote bag would be great, or like a little wallet kind of thing.
Okay.
You can, collage even on an apron, because that's something where you don't have to totally wash every time, right? Right. So those are some other fun projects that you can do the same technique,
right?
To create some really fun artwork.
Yeah.
ATCs.
Oh, yeah.
That's another great one.
Sure.
Greeting cards.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I'll collage a big piece like this and then photocopy that, cut it down, and use that. You can, scrapbook with the same technique. You can do this as a background and put a photo on it. So there's so many possibilities when you're working with collage.
Yeah. Very good.
So that is... this is my finished piece for now. And then once it dries, I'm going to create a little journal.
Okay, very good.